Guys, I lied. Plans didn't exactly go as I had thought they were going to today, so I'm able to do a brew review. So if that's the case, I'm gonna do a brew review, because what are we looking at today? Wake Up Dead Imperial Stout. Kind of fitting. I'm just kidding. Left Hand Brewing Company, 10.2% by volume. And this can cellar for up to, say, 7 days. No, it can cellar up to 7 years, but that's not going to be the case with this particular one. This was from Ed. And Ed actually sent the matching glass, but they say you're supposed to put it in a goblet. And you know me, the last thing I ever do is not follow the rules. I suppose a few of you have been wondering why I haven't had some kind of a rant about what went down with the elections. Well, for starters, I have to, well, I'm not going to apologize. I did not vote for Dayton, Rick Nolan, or Al the Douchebag Franken. So it's not my fault. But as a state, Minnesota is over 50% retards. And actually, with everything else I see, we're also welcoming in all the Muslims, so it probably won't be long until I'm gone from this shithole state, because any race or ethnic group of people that openly say that their goal is to kill anyone that doesn't want to conform to their religion, you know, personally, if it was in my power, they would all be gone through whatever means. There's the door. See ya. Okay, I'm gonna open this up with the charging handle. And, you know, use the proper glass. Yeah, I tell you, the thing that I had, I'm kind of a political junkie, in case you haven't figured it out. I went to bed really late the other night and got up fairly early, you know, because I did make the bold statement that I thought we were going to be +8, and as it stands, we're at +7, and I still think that's going to go to +8. But there was this liberal, libtard political analyst that you just want to shake your head and go, what in the hell? She made the comment that everybody likes Obama's policies. They love Obamacare. They love the fact that him and his executive orders, he just pen through whatever the hell he wants. Forget the fact that we have a system. Forget about, you know, the 11 million illegals that he wants to just grant instant citizenship to, so, you know, they'll vote for Santa Claus, the liberals. You know, forget about Benghazi, forget about all that stuff. America loves his policies, but they're upset with him, so they sent a message through all of the votes. It's kind of funny that 29 senators or representatives that supported Obamacare are no longer in office. That vote was because we're sick and tired of you and your bullshit. You can stuff the Affordable Care, Obamacare, right up your ass. It's dark, like an Imperial Stout would be. Sorry, I digress. I actually, I've tried a couple of times, and I can't seem to keep my profanity in check when referring to Obama or the libtards. But the fact is, there was so many races that weren't even close. This was an Obama, you can go to hell and take all your policies with you. This was America upset with you. And the only way to shut you down is to take the power away. But he's already going on and on about how he'll just take the pen out and make it so. Yeah, well, I got something to make it so. Because you actually kind of get a chocolate before you get the roasted malts. Yeah, I don't want to sniff this anymore. I'm just gonna. If you want to know what it smells like, get your own. We're gonna go straight on and drink it. Well, first things first. Some of them, when they get, on that 8, 9, 10%, if you try to, like, say, gulp them down, you just instantly get that alcohol warming and a little bit of a punishment for trying that. This does not drink like a 10+% alcohol. It's got kind of a medium mouthfeel. The first thing you notice right away is that it's not. I'm not sure my good friend JR10 Desert Gold. The alcohol percentage he's gonna like. The flavor he's probably really gonna like, but I know, and I know he's got me kind of swaying that way now on the high octane, good sweet Imperials. I might be wrong and he might be right on this. My taste has definitely gone in the direction of some of the stuff that he's pointed out that he really liked. This, I'm not quite sure that, be interesting to know, JR10, if this is something that you've had or not, because it'd be interesting to know if how high this rated on your J scale, because I'm kind of, this is kind of in its own little territory. It's got oodles of flavor and getting that chocolate and those roasted malts, and I don't know if that's like dark fig or something in there. But starting right up front, it is a fairly dry beer. The chocolates I'm imagining are like the dark, almost like the baker's chocolate kind of, if you take a bite of milk chocolate versus like the baker's chocolate, you know what I'm talking about. You probably never went back and had the baker's chocolate again. So you're getting a little bit of a charge up front. Don't really know if that's a citrus thing, something in the hops, but goes right away to a very dry place, and it stays there the whole time. But that now kind of like the give and take on that is that dryness is you're not kind of drowning the rest of the flavors in a bunch of sweet syrup, which can also make the flavors stand out, but you're kind of getting things broken up just a little bit more. Get that dryness. As that starts to go away, you're picking up on that chocolate. And then right behind that is it's a little bit of a coffee. And then more chocolate. And those roasted malts kind of stay with it the whole time. And being that the bottle says that it's 10% by volume, I'll have to believe that. There's a little bit, like right at the very end, a little bit of an alcohol warming, but other than that, I mean, it's pretty mild. Oh, and you kind of go full guns up front. That, I don't know if it's my, your taste buds and your brain kind of playing tricks, but almost a little bit of a black licorice just kind of hidden in the background. Probably be a lot better if it, I didn't put it in the refrigerator, and I'm sure I destroyed that beer by chilling it. I will give Mr. Fuzzy Pants, Paul PA Brew News, the Eastern Werewolf. Now, if I was to concede to anything, right now, if you stopped over and you wanted to split a bottle of Vampire Slayer, say for instance, I would not have a problem at all. I would not panic knowing that it's cellared as opposed to refrigerated, because that particular one there's absolute no harm comes to the drinking of that beer while it's a little bit cellar temperature. The flavors are more enhanced and they come out, but as part of the palate. Like for instance, if you're this happens to us all the time. You're stranded in the desert, and you run across it reminds me of and you guys, I'm a huge fan of Gary Larson, The Far Side, and there was you could tell these guys were stranded in the desert, and the footprints were trailing off from way in the distance, and they run across a water fountain, like you'd see at school or in a building. And the one guy, like, obviously just turned it on and was reaching in to take a drink, and the other guy goes, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, let it run a little and see if it gets colder." And that's the same with beers. I'll give the concession to him that there is some that, as you let them warm up, the complexities and the flavors really start to come out of them, but it comes down to the palate and what we like. And I can't imagine even drinking something like a Pilsner, an IPA, or any of those. Just make them as cold as possible. And I have had several IPAs that, maybe it was a big bottle, and by the time you get down to this point, it's warming up a little, and more of the flavors start to come out. But now it's warming, and I'm having a mixed little war going on inside between the flavors are cool, but now it's like warm, and I don't like warm beer. So I guess it's one of those teaches on, and Paul's wrong on this one. Paul may not be wrong. I know he's in the minority. I mean, I'm sure a majority of you guys would just assume drink a beer as cold as it can get. Something like this. Now, this is closer to what they are recommending. Took it out of the fridge, and it sat out for at least 30 minutes while I was goofing off. Well, I'm not goofing off. You can't see it. It's my baby. I was working on doing some self mods, just little things, little tweaks here and there, getting things adjusted, co-witnessing the spark with the sights. But my eyes, they're not young eyes anymore. So I painted the front post on this white. I've done this before on a couple of other things I have, and it really helps to make it stand out. Low light, high. So just that's just what I'm doing. and Jim, Hornet Fixer. I'm right now not having any luck finding the brand on these for you, but they are almost, from the pictures, they're like identical to the $150 set of Diamond Head, and I can tell you these are not Diamond Head. I mean, even right down, I really like that white bar that they put on there, and this distance that I have them apart from each other right now mathematically works out to this diamond shape for the rear sight perfectly aligns inside of the shape of the front. I don't know, man. These were not expensive sights, but the detents are right. The tolerances, how they feel in there, how they lock up. They're made out of aluminum. They are one hell of a deal. And again, I say thank you to Steven for sending those to me. That's cool. That's cool as hell. This will probably be the actual first AR platform gun, rifle, well, pistol that I've ever had that I will probably use the sights as much or in conjunction with, because as it's set up right now, I know this was close. I haven't had the opportunity to actually sit. I hate it when I go out with anybody else, my brother-in-law or Christine. It's just, for me, it may sound silly, but when I actually want to sight something in, I prefer to actually just go out by myself and spend a day. I know it sounds like a lot, but when you're actually walking, down to the target, playing around with some adjustments, it's not a lot of ammo, but it's a lot. It usually is a lot of time to get something dialed in and get it working right for you. And this has not had that. I mean, I did play around with it a little bit, and Chris helped me. I shot it and I slowly kind of walked it in. I can tell you right now, at 100 yards, I can hit a 6-inch target all day long with it as is. So I know that spark is fairly close. So I just kind of adjusted the flip ups to match that. And right now, if you look down at the red dot is exactly breaking the plane of the top of the front post. So we'll see how that goes. And Steve, just to see how that is, I actually have that front post dialed as far down as it goes. So if I needed to actually take anything more off of it, I'd have to either change that front post or take that front post out and grind a little off the top, smooth it back off, so that, because I seem to have a lot more up adjustment than I do down adjustment on it right now. But yeah, I'm working on it. We're working on it, Jim, between me and Steve, trying to figure out. Even the information that he had on it showed not really any information as finding a manufacturer on them. But boy, I tell you, if I told you how much those cost, you would probably shit. Because I can tell you, this one, the one that everybody always says, hey, you got your front sight on backwards. No, I don't. It's designed to go in a gas block. It's designed to flip forward. And Midwest Industries should have put the slash the other direction, so that when you flip it up, the cut is forward. But they didn't. They told me that they receive a shit ton of calls about that. Yet I'm not even sure if they even still offer that model. But as of when I got it, it kind of pissed me off, because what the hell? Alcohol and firearms. Who gives a shit about the safety sallies? That slash should be on the muzzle side of the barrel, not backwards. But there's nothing I can do about it, because if you put this on the other way, it hits the front rail, and sorry, flashlight in the way. I'm like Why can't these guys see that? I see it just fine. Oh, yeah, because there's a big-ass flashlight in the way. It actually hits the top of the rail, and it causes it to sit somewhat upright and not fold all the way forward. And seems how in this particular scenario with EOTech EXPS 3-4 and the EOTech magnifier, that gets used a lot more than flip-up sights do. Which actually having them on here is kind of a waste, but they do make, you know, backup if something was to happen to the EOTech. These are Midwest Industry flip-ups. Again, they co-witness, and again, like I said, I painted the front post white before I converted. Actually, I guess the stock Mosin is painted that sight white, and I found it was a lot easier to acquire my target with it. So if you are having a sight acquisition issue, try just getting some white fingernail polish and paint your front post. I'd stay in a light color. You could also do orange, but now there's lots of natural colors, especially in the fall or whatever. So I just went with something that would be really a contrast, and it helps to make it stand out. But yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie, but I'm betting that's Ray calling. Yes, it is. I hate to do this to you. The beer will stay right where it is, and I will get right back to you. Okay, sorry about that. I was just on the phone with Ray for like an hour, and I have no idea where we left off, so I'm just gonna wing it. There was this much beer in the glass, and I'm gonna add the last of it. Let's just finish talking about this before the phone rings again, because I know the phone's gonna ring again. I haven't heard from my good friend Rich in a long time, and I know he's gonna be calling. So I apologize, it's all messed up. Then again, I wasn't even planning on doing this review today, but okay. Wake Up Dead Imperial Stout from Left Hand Brewing Company. 10.2% by volume. By now, this is comfortably into what Paul would call good. So let me give you one last recap before I give an E-scale. I get jabbed in the side by an AR pistol. Okay. Right away, you notice that the dryness. A lot of like dark chocolate flavors. A little bit of coffee. Still stays fairly smooth. So if you like a lot of the deep chocolate roasted malts and coffee, this is going to be for you. If you can't stand really dry, lack of a sweetness, this one might not be for you. Me personally, I like all the flavors, but I think it's almost a little overdone on the dryness, and like JR10 Desert Gold, I would actually really enjoy this if it bordered on the sweet side as opposed to on the bitter side. So having said that, I personally am going to give Wake Up Dead Imperial Stout an 8.5 on the E-scale. This really had the potential to shoot, you know, into the tens, but you know, maybe for you and your personal characteristics of what you would like to get in an Imperial Stout, to me, the dry bitter from start to finish was just a little overwhelming, but it brought it back up with the intensity and the flavors and the subtle complexity to it. Not to mention 10.2% by volume. It gets like an extra. There's got to be an extra at least 1.5% of up just for going over 10%. Oh yeah. I'm sure this is all messed up and out of sequence because I could have run back the video and figured out what the hell I was talking about, say, an hour ago. But I guess I'll just leave it on a political note. Republicans, don't screw it up. The American people have given a voice to you because we are sick of Obama's shit. His policies. Obamacare is a catastrophe. There is nothing good about it. It started off by being called Obamacare. Pretty much knew it was going to be shit. Governors' races turned over all over the place. Yeah, this isn't a personal thing against Obama. So you political analyst dickweed, libtard hack, this is his policies. He is the shittiest president in American history. I mean, Jimmy Carter right now is sitting back going, finally, I am not the worst president in American history. And it's just a damn shame that so many things had to follow suit. I mean, if the Democratic Party was going to put up a strong leader and he was a black man, they should have put up a good guy instead of a fundraiser. Socialist, Nazi-loving fundraiser. So, okay, I'm going to go finish this. And I suppose you want to look at something tomorrow. I'm assuming that there's going to be a tomorrow. Right now, there's definitely a tomorrow. That was from Ed. Got a couple things left from Johnny. Let's take even though it's like, one of my favorite days, like the only day. And maybe I'll get off my butt and I'll run and pick up some stuff. We're either going to look at Shiner Bock or we're going to do the Drunken Brew Review. I don't know. I've got a bunch of stuff planned with family tomorrow, so that could either be the equalizer or it's just not going to work out. But you'll know when the video starts. So more than likely we'll be looking at this, and I'll give you more of a heads up on the other. Otherwise, I really want to say thanks to Ed for sending this and the opportunity to give it a try. It's kind of a little battle. It's great on flavor. I would have just liked to have seen less bitter and more sweetness. Kind of like a first date. So, cheers, guys, and hopefully we will see you tomorrow. We'll take a look at the Shiner Bock, and you guys be safe. Cheers.